"Sir, please be careful in Busan. Busan drivers are crazy." And I mean, it was very funny to hear her say that Busan citizens, unfortunately, have a reputation. Hi, hello everyone.
So, would you introduce yourself?
Sure, my name is Mark. Yes, I come from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Kitchener is an average sized city about 100 kilometers from Toronto.
So, how long have you been in Korea?
I often get that question. I've been in Korea for a very long time. I first came in 2004, so about 16 years, I guess.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, first time I was just surprised about the 16, not 6 years.
Yes, 16, 1-6, yes, a very long time, I know.
So, how long have you been in Busan?
So my first year in Korea, I lived in Jeonju. As you probably know, is a very traditional city in Central Korea. And the rest of the time, so about 15 years, has been in Busan.
15 years in Busan.
Yes.
So long time.
Yes.
So thank you for that, because the reason I make this video is I want to gather the foreigners' idea about my hometown.
Sure.
Yeah, because I cannot recognize my hometown as foreigner's eye, because I haven't living here, so I cannot see any different opinion about my hometown. But you maybe, is it rude to say you are foreigner, so you have some different idea about hometown? If I say like that,
No, not at all, not at all.
But I'm not separate. You are foreigner and I'm native Korean. I don't want to separate that, but
No,
I need
yeah.
some idea about the different point of view to my hometown.
Sure, and I hope I can help you through this interview.
Sure.
Okay.
So first thing I want to ask about it is what was or what is the most big cultural difference between Canada and Korea?
I mean, before coming to Korea, I researched a lot about that. I guess there weren't so many resources or tools at that time, but I did my best to research on the internet, and I did speak to one former colleague who had been in Korea already, but I don't think that really helped so much. I don't think you can really understand until you experience it yourself. So, I mean, it's a very long time ago now. I was just kind of a kid at that time, but some things that really stand out that were huge culture shocks for me when I first came to Korea was first, was the driving is so much different in Korea compared with Canada. I mean, especially in Busan.
뭔 개소리야?
But I feel really victimized because, but yeah, with the Europeans.
I mean, I hope you or other Koreans don't get so offended by that. But I mean, I recently bought a car. This is the first time for me to drive regularly in Korea, but I think one thing that is completely different is that in Canada the pedestrians, the people walking on the street are always first. So the car absolutely automatically stops for them first. But in Korea, it was kind of shocking for me, and still sometimes when I'm walking on the street, remind myself or just be a little bit extra careful because the cars usually automatically go here first. And I don't mean that they're trying to be rude or anything, but it's just completely different driving culture in Korea compared with Canada.
So you think the Korean driver are not care about the pedestrian worker?
Not necessarily. I just think the style on the road, or not the manners, just the style on the road, I guess, and the system is completely different from Western countries, I guess.
The system prefer more driver than the worker. You think?
That's just how it's become over the years, I think. And another thing that I noticed, and I have a Korean wife. I don't think I mentioned that, and. I remember many years ago when we were just dating, I kind of said to her, like, honey, like, why do bus drivers and taxi drivers drive like that? Like, they drive so fast and so aggressive. Like, especially the bus drivers, they constantly like stop and go and drive very fast. And I remember my wife saying like Mark, like she kind of mentioned, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but I kind of agree with her now. Like, the taxi and bus drivers she said they're kind of the king of the road in Korea. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I guess taxi drivers are kind of, that's their job. They're trying to make a living. And I understand now, after so many years of living here, that bus drivers are on a tight schedule that they're trying to follow. So they probably feel in a big rush usually. But
yeah, because as a native Korean or native Busan people, I get priority to the taxi driver because that is their job. So to me, I also important person, but on the world, I want to give more priority to the taxi driver. Yeah, they are so aggressively and they don't follow the law on the world. As your wife say, they are king.
yes, right. Yeah. I feel like that now.
Okay, so your first cultural shock was the driving system.
Yes, absolutely.
So drivers, and as a worker, you feel not safe on the road in Korea.
I never really felt in big danger. I mean, before I bought a car, so for many years in Korea, I was a pedestrian. I was walking a lot outside. I never really felt in danger, but I just felt I just had to be very careful when I was walking. Just have an extra look before crossing the street and stuff. Yeah, it was just kind of a big adjustment for me, that's all.
Yeah, so, but you never drove in the Seoul, only Busan. Because I want to compare, because as you said, even if in the Korean domestic people, they say Busan is the tough city to drive.
When I bought my car a few months ago, and when I arranged my car insurance, I think the lady who was working for the insurance company, she was in Seoul, from what I understand, and I mean, she spoke English quite well. And one of the last comments in the conversation after we arranged everything was, sir, please be careful in Busan. Busan drivers are crazy. And I mean, it was very funny to hear her say that. Busan citizens, unfortunately, have a reputation like that. But now that I've been driving regularly, I think I'm adjusting well. I was always kind of scared or hesitant to drive or have a car in Busan, but now that I do, I have no problems. I enjoy driving and listening to the radio or listening to music. I mean, it's fine. Although it was a cultural shock, now that I'm driving regularly for the past few months, I mean, you do need to be careful while you're driving, but I think you need to be careful anywhere where you drive in the world. It's not as bad. I haven't really seen much of the driving culture in Seoul at all, really. No.
Sure.
So
thank you for your idea.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe many foreigners will agree with you about the Korean driving style.
Maybe.
Yeah, even if I just compare to another country, I think Korean style is more tough, but I'm never thinking about Busan people are more bad reputation for driver, but the fact is, yeah, you are true, because there is bad reputation to the Busan driver. So
okay.
Thank you for sharing your idea. So, and the first thing was a driving system, and what else? Is there anything else about your cultural shock?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Was it a cultural shock or not? I don't know. I mean, the food here is quite different than Western food, of course. But it was also something that I really enjoyed when I first came to Korea, was experiencing many different kinds of food. There are so many side dishes when you eat Korean food. I always like that. when I first came here. There are many kinds of, I want to say, exotic foods, a lot of seafood, which I really enjoy compared with what I ate in Canada. I never found that I was a picky eater.
Yeah.
When I was growing up in Canada, I always was willing to try kind of almost any food.
I mean, so many side dishes.
Yeah, so many side dishes, many new kinds of food that I was not used to. It was a cultural shock, but it was something that I really enjoyed, trying new foods. I know there were a lot of foreigners that kind of missed the hometown food, but I wasn't one of those people. I enjoyed trying new Korean foods. I mean, one aspect of Korean food that was sort of at times a shock to me was how spicy Korean food can be sometimes.
Yeah.
I never had any problems with kimchi. I still don't. I'm completely fine with it. But I mean, for example, if somebody at home in Canada, my family or friends tells me, okay, Mark, this food is a little bit spicy. It will actually be a little bit spicy, no problem. But I remember my first year in Jeonju, I went to a small Korean restaurant and by myself after work, late at night, I was hungry, and I ordered ojingo dokbap, which is squid with rice and something. And the owner, the man, I guess the husband, he said in English, it's a little spicy. So my version of a little spicy would be something that I would hear from my mother. It's a little spicy.
Yeah.
Be a little careful. Have some water ready or something. But this was the first time, and what I've heard many, many, many times in Korea, a little spicy means like it's fire in Korea. It was so unbelievably hot.
Yeah, but maybe it's a different style because like Tabasco in Western people, to me it's a strange flavor.
I don't know. Like I've heard a little spicy in Korea many times, and that means like it's fire.
Fire. Yeah.
So that was. I mean, but I mean, it was also very delicious. And although it was a cultural shock, I've really enjoyed eating Korean food and experiencing different kinds of food.
When the Korean people say it's spicy, you need to be double careful about that.
Absolutely, yes.
Sure.
Have lots of water ready.
Yeah.
Over so many years, I've kind of felt very proud that I'm living in Busan, and I kind of felt a part of Busan. I feel like Busan people are very strong and proud to be from there. I don't know if people from Seoul are like that or not. I've never lived there. I cannot say.